Neo Group is a new age focused wealth and asset management platform that aims to provide clients with investment solutions in a cost efficient manner. Their purpose is to solve large challenges currently unaddressed in the financial services space, which, if solved, will make a transformational difference in the lives of many people and have a significant impact in the ecosystem that they operate in. With its presence in 30 cities in India, Neo Group has established itself as a leader in a very short span of time.
Hello and welcome to this special edition show of NDTV Profit. NexBrands presents Brand Vision, a symbol of excellence. Well, today we're joined by two very dynamic personalities. We're joined by Mr. Nitin Jain and Mr. Hemant Daga, both co-founders of Neo Group. Welcome to both of you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
So my first question will be to you, Nitin. Give us an overview of what Neo Wealth and Asset Management is. How has it been since inception, and how has the evolution been?
Right. First of all, thank you. Like you rightly said, I think we are a new age wealth and asset management player. And sometimes I do feel that people get confused about what is wealth management and what is asset management, and maybe I'll take just a minute to explain that, at least the way we think about it. So wealth management is basically your relationship managers advising you personally, specifically on your portfolio, about your objectives. And mind you, the only objective is not returns, because it's possible that your kid wants to go and study in US, so at the right time, do you have liquidity available? Are you hedged against USD? And so on and so forth. So you're trying to build a very customized solution. So think of him as a doctor who's giving you the advice. And the asset management business is actually the manufacturing part of it. So for example, a mutual fund is an asset management, but the fund manager really does not know who's the end client that he is managing money for. His only job is manage money and deliver good returns. So the advisor or the wealth manager is like a doctor, and this guy, the asset management, is like manufacturing. So we run both the practices. And we have seen a lot of opportunities in terms of gaps that are there in this market for over a decade or so. So we've tried to model ourselves around those opportunities. We are already managing around 35,000 crore of assets in our wealth management business. 5,000 crore, 6,000 crores actually, right, in asset management. 600 people, 30 cities we are now present. And luckily we've also onboarded great equity partners. So Peak 15 is the first institutional partner in the company, and so it's been an amazing journey.
Right. How do you think that Neo Wealth and Asset Management is different from what the other companies are doing?
I think the current wealth management industry is structured, if you think about it, right? I mean, a lot of their economics is coming from the manufacturers of products rather than the actual consumer of advice, right? So we thought that there might be an opportunity for us to actually sit on the side of the client and actually not take money from the manufacturer, but actually take advisory fee from the client and create and genuinely represent the client and his best interest. So effectively, we have this proposition called as multi-family office, where we manage clients upwards of 1,000 crores of net worth. But there we are sitting next to them, and we are buyers of service from the other wealth and asset managers.
Okay.
So we are not the sellers, we are the buyers. So that's a very fundamentally different approach to the business, and I think there are very few people who are really attempting this as a strategy in the industry. And the second, within the wealth management space, what we have tried to solve for is productivity. There is genuinely shortfall of talent in this industry. And if you ask me honestly, I think there are not more than 300 relationship managers at an industry level who can really service the kind of clients that we are targeting, right? So your hiring pool is very, very limited, and these people have been in their existing companies for a decade, and we felt their pain. So we felt that there is an opportunity actually, like we have become entrepreneurs, why not give an opportunity to these people, the best relationship managers in the country, an opportunity to become an entrepreneur. So what we have done is we've created the platform, we've created the infrastructure, we give you advice, we give you products, we give you the brand, we also give you transition capital so that for the first 2 years you're not struggling to pay your bills, etc. And I thought actually we were not ready for this in India. But I must tell you, I've been positively surprised. In the last 18 months, I think we've onboarded 35 of the best relationship managers in the country in this practice. And I think they're doing awesomely well for themselves and for the world.
And Nitin, just to add, they're working for the client for the long term, which is what all of wealth and asset management is about.
Right.
We are actually very excited by the landscape in private markets as an opportunity. I think India has been exposed only to more traditional investments, which is listed markets, right?
Right.
And we at Neo see a big opportunity in the private market investing space. So whether it's private equity, which most people have heard about, whether it's credit, private credit, and the third big opportunity on real assets. You can own assets which are generating cash flows and provide them to our clients. So we are excited by this space. We think this is a large structural opportunity which will last decades. You can own roads, you can own solar plants, buildings, you can give credit to companies, you can take stakes in equities in private companies. And that's a beautiful space that we want to play in this space. And fortunately, our clients understand it because they've been doing it for years. They've been running large firms. They are entrepreneurs themselves. They understand it. They've been making money this way.
Right.
And we are effectively trying to now do this in a more organized way for them.
Right. What are the kind of growth levers and the trends that you're observing, overall in the wealth management industry as a whole? And how do you as Neo Wealth and Asset Management are planning to capture these? What is your strategy overall?
So there are three things that I think are meaningfully driving this industry. Okay, one, I think the amount of wealth that is getting created is unbelievable, unprecedented. In fact, and it's just the beginning. Today as we stand, we have around 10 lakh people in this country whose net worth is above 10 crores. 10 lakh people whose net worth is above 10 crores. But in 12 years, and this is our analysis, I don't think the numbers in the market will necessarily agree with what we think, but we think, and we have done a lot of work on this, is in 2035, we will have 1 crore people with a net worth of greater than 10 crores.
Interesting.
Okay, 1 crore such people. The second is, I think, and this is the most interesting part, I feel that our clients are getting sophisticated at a speed higher than the industry. मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि if we are able to build very deep investment capabilities, hopefully we will be able to create value for our clients who are, don't forget, themselves very, very intelligent people. They're all people. So we have 1,200 clients. All of them have a net worth of greater than 100 crores. And the third is a very interesting one. It is that on the long only side, which is the public markets, right? I think there is not too many high quality fund managers and there's nothing to really discover. So we are seeing a lot of shift of allocations in terms of people who are seeking alpha to the private markets.
I want to understand that how is the landscape of the asset management industry as a whole is changing, and how do you plan to leverage that?
I think the economic landscape is changing at a rapid pace. A lot of companies now want to remain private. A lot of equity value is getting created in private markets also. The government wants to sell assets, developers want to sell assets. A lot of that is falling on private markets rather than public markets. So our entire hypothesis at Neo is that this space, which is also called as alternatives in private markets are very interchangeably used, but for us they are exactly the same opportunity. And that is the space that we want to go after. We think providing private capital has a much needed role in India's economic expansion. I think it provides capital where public markets typically don't provide capital. So where banks don't provide capital, asset managers provide capital. Where public markets will not give money to a young entrepreneur, private markets will give. And that is a purpose that we are serving for economic growth. At the same time, our clients like these strategies because they give diversification, they give better risk-adjusted returns, they understand it better, right? It's fulfilling a client need, it's fulfilling a need for India's economic growth, and we want to be at the forefront of this mega trend.
Could you also explain the focus and strategy for Neo Wealth Management at present, and going forward, what will it look like?
See, our strategy is driven by two very simple things. Firstly, are you solving a need of the client? There has to be a need which you solve. And secondly, when you're solving it, is it a large structural opportunity? It should be there for years and it should consume a lot of capital. Private credit, those are the two things that we are currently focused on. Private credit is a $100 billion opportunity. We're effectively giving companies capital for credit, which is either for growth, working capital, acquisition financing, special situations. We are actually owning assets. So we want to own assets, operating assets, roads, transmission lines, solar parks. Very interesting statistic. Globally, 40% of operating assets are owned by asset managers, pension funds on behalf of their clients. That number in India is just 5%. Just envision a world, there is an operating road which is throwing cash flows. You have the government of India as your counterparty, and we want to package those cash flows in a very simple way and give it to our clients. Our clients will love it, we serve a great purpose, and there is economic productivity getting added. So our focus is simple, see a client need and marry it with a large structural opportunity.
Well, with this, we'll step into a short break, but do stay tuned for the further conversation with both these dynamic gentlemen. Welcome back to this special edition of NexBrands presents Brand Vision, a symbol of excellence, where today we are joined by co-founders of Neo Group. I want to understand that how is Neo Wealth and Asset Management its strategy to capture this growing market, first thing, and secondly, is there anything unique about the tier 2, 3, 4 cities that you've observed, like in terms of trends? And also, we would love some insights as to which of these cities are doing better.
Earlier, to be an entrepreneur, you really needed to be in a big city. Okay? And I think I've witnessed this change more so in the last 5 to 10 years. Actually, I don't know what has changed fundamentally, but I think advent of private equity and venture capital, where they are going and trying to find these gems in these tier 2, tier 3 cities, I think that has given a lot of confidence to people. If you're able to reach those places and support these ambitious entrepreneurs with the right kind of capital, right kind of governance, I think it can be just mind-boggling. So we witness this day in, day out. In fact, some of our largest checks, and already of the total assets that we're managing, I would say around 25 to 30% of it is coming from tier 2, tier 3 cities.
These people are running businesses at the heart of it. Also, one more trend that we truly witness is a lot of readiness to put money into financial assets. See, when you see that your business is earning 18-20% returns, and you have an opportunity where you can make similar returns without being actively involved in
And
it,
getting diversification.
clients love it.
What is it that you look in to leaders that you're hiring? What are those qualities that you look into those leaders when you're hiring them?
So हम लोग का, if you see our logo, it says Neo and it says do good. If you ask us what is the culture that we want to drive in our organization, it's actually very simple. Be good. If you really want to do good, just be good. So I think what we expect, and this is actually slightly easier to understand, right? If I say just be a good person.
Yeah.
And I think उसका मतलब क्या है? Be respectful to people.
Yeah.
You can be tough, you can be decisive, but whether it's your junior, it's your peer, it's your senior, it doesn't matter. Can you show respect? Even a difficult conversation can happen, but you have to show respect. So that is fundamental to us. Think of the team before yourself.
Yeah.
We just want you to, if you can't enjoy each other's success, this journey is going to be very tough. There's so many. So I think for us that is the second, and put the client's interest first. You should never forget why did we get together in the first place, right? हम लोग क्यों आए साथ में? To make a positive difference in lives of people that we touch. And if that is the objective with which you come in to office every day and find ways and means of creating value for others, I do think a lot of that comes back. So these are the 2-3.
Actually, Nitin, I sometimes think culture is a concept we adopted from the Western world. You know? When you look at your families, do you really ask what's the culture of your family? Right? True. This is our family. Our team, our clients, companies we are participating with, this is our family. We just need to be normal, good human beings. Be simple, be respectful, live a normal, good life.
True.
And that's the culture we want at Neo. Don't overthink about it.
The Neo Asset Management is currently investing in 3 different strategies, right? Do you plan to expand beyond those 3 strategies?
I think there is always a question of strategy and focus. So from a long-term strategy perspective, there are 3 things that we truly want to do. Private equities, big opportunity. Private credit, large opportunity, which we are currently doing. And real assets, which itself is a giant opportunity. In the short term, we are very focused on building what we call the Neo alternative yield curve. See, what we're trying to do, just envision a world, a client comes to you, he says, I want regular income, I have this time duration, and I have a certain risk appetite. So effectively, across time and across risk buckets, we want to deliver regular income solutions to our clients through private credit, through real assets. So effectively today, what do we have? We have in the short end, we have solutions which can deliver 12 to 13% over 6-9 months, all providing regular income. Then in the medium term, if you want regular income, we have strategies which can deliver approximately 15 to 16% gross returns to clients through credit, delivering regular income again. And then in the long run, to meet a client need, we have strategies which can deliver approximately 18 to 20% gross returns with 3 to 4% quarterly coupons. But the core, one of the big learnings that we had, I think coupon and regular income is a need that we truly want to fulfill through our strategies at this point. In the medium term, the last piece, which is private equities, we think there are many shades of that. There is late stage investing, there is pre-IPO investing, there is a huge buoyant secondaries market with a lot of funds selling stakes, and there is early stage investing, right? At some point, we do want to start on some of those slivers of private equity, but that's a more medium-term objective for us.
It's the era of technology.
Right.
So, I want to understand that how are you leveraging technology to enhance your services?
Actually, strange, this is very fundamental to us.
Yeah.
So if you were to ask me what are the 2 core capabilities that will over a long period of time differentiate Neo, okay, fundamental capabilities. We talked about the model. I think one is core investing. You got to be super good at investing. There is no choice. I think the second such event is this democratization of AI. I think so much power, so much ability is being now available to a normal individual that you can actually just change the world. तो मेरे को लगता है कि if you do not capitalize on this, of course, when we started, we wanted to give great onboarding solutions, great reporting, great platform, transactions. But ambitions have changed because of what is now possible. And I do think for Neo to do well over the next couple of decades or so, I think our early adoption of technology and creating and thinking of ways in which we can impact our clients' lives, rather than thinking of technology as a solution, I think will be the key driving force behind our growth.
I think technology is also a culture.
Yeah.
It starts with educating ourselves. Sometimes when you grow old, we are the impediments. So we need to educate ourselves first.
In fact, right now as we speak, we have now an AI coach for both of us.
Wow.
Absolutely.
I want to understand that how do you envision Neo's role, drawing a parallel to India's growth over the next decade?
Most of our strategies you will see have very deep operating capabilities. तो हम लोग वो काम करते हैं जहाँ पे your returns are not made because of excess risk. A lot of returns are made because of excess effort. Okay, which is like, so for example, let's think about our infra strategy. we do think that India needs massive investment in infrastructure. And we have so much savings out here, right? So can we channelize these savings and help India build its infrastructure? Okay, so we think we'll be a very major player in that space over the next 10-15 years. Our other strategy, which is the Special Credit Opportunities Fund. You know, one of the most exciting part of that is that we rescue companies. Think about it. Companies that are on the verge of dying, okay? Because good operating businesses, but the balance sheet was stretched or something goes wrong, and just a little, we go there, pick them, hold their hands and take them out of. The number of jobs that you save in that journey is so satisfying. So we actually track internally when we take up how many jobs, how many lives are we impacting, okay? I think across our businesses. The third, I think, when we channelize our client savings into these opportunities like private equity and others, you're giving an opportunity to an entrepreneur, right? And we can only be a catalyst or an agent for change for this country. But there's so many bright young people. If you're able to just support them in some form, we think we are making our contribution.
Absolutely.
Okay, well, gentlemen, I would like to say that, your vision runs very parallel to what the vision of government is, that is Viksit Bharat, as well as, the way the government is pushing Startup India. And, a very interesting that I have observed is that, it's not just bringing a parallel to what the government's vision is, but you're also building dreams for entrepreneurs who have ideas but need capital. So, thank you so much for taking out time and giving us those wonderful insights on what wealth asset management actually is and what you're doing, and all the best for the way forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mary.
Thanks a lot. Our pleasure.